All right, welcome to our deep dive into Founders Classical Academy of Las Vegas. Sounds like you're checking out different schools and want to get with this classical education thing at Founders.
At its core, classical education is all about a well-rounded approach to learning. It's not just about being smart, but also about building good character. They actually say their goal is to create intelligent, virtuous American citizens.
So how do they actually pull that off?
It all starts with the curriculum. They've got this back to basics approach. But trust me, it's not your typical elementary school stuff. Think phonics, grammar, vocabulary, those real fundamental building blocks. But then they layer that with these deep dives into what we call the great books.
You're going to have to explain that one to me. What are these great books?
Those are the really foundational works of Western literature and philosophy. The ones that have shaped how we understand the world. Think Homer, Plato, Shakespeare. Founders believes that even from a young age, when kids engage with these texts, it helps them develop critical thinking skills and grapple with these huge questions that have been echoing throughout history.
So it's not just like memorizing dates and names. It's about actually engaging in discussions and analyzing these ideas.
They actually use something called Socratic seminars, where students learn to debate ideas, defend their viewpoints, and challenge each other's perspectives respectfully, of course. It's pretty different from your typical lecture-style classroom.
Yeah, I can see how that could be appealing to certain parents. But wouldn't that be a bit intimidating for a young child? Can you imagine a 10-year-old trying to debate Plato?
It's definitely a challenging approach, no doubt. But the teachers are really skilled at guiding the students through these discussions. They make sure it's age-appropriate and engaging. For example, imagine a class discussing Plato's Republic. They might be grappling with this ethical dilemma of prioritizing justice, even if it means personal sacrifice. That kind of critical thinking is what Founders encourages.
Now, something else that caught my eye was this emphasis on Greek and Latin. Is that common in classical education?
It's definitely a hallmark. Founders even offers actual Latin instruction. They believe that understanding these root languages gives students a deeper understanding of English vocabulary and grammar, and it even helps them decode complex scientific terms later on.
That's an interesting way to think about it. It's not just about learning a dead language. It's about giving them tools to understand language itself. So what else makes Founders' curriculum stand out?
They offer a dual diploma program, where students can earn a standard diploma alongside one focused on classical studies. And they also have a senior capstone project, where students really dive deep into a topic of their choice and demonstrate their research writing and presentation skills.
What's the overall environment like?
Well, Founders emphasizes a structured and respectful environment. Students wear uniforms, which minimizes distractions and fosters a sense of community. The focus is really on creating a space where learning takes center stage.
As a parent, I can see the appeal of that. It sounds like a welcome contrast to some of the chaos you might find in a typical public school. But I imagine this type of environment isn't the right fit for every child.
You're absolutely right. It's important for parents to carefully consider their child's individual needs and personality. While Founders complies with legal requirements for supporting students with IEPs, it's worth noting that their strength lies in a rigorous academic environment, which might not be the best fit for a child who needs a lot of extra support.
That's a really good point. Parents of children with significant learning differences should definitely explore that aspect thoroughly. What about class size? What can parents expect at Founders?
They have a student-teacher ratio of 27.1. That's smaller than many public schools, which can be a huge advantage. Smaller classes allow for more individualized attention from teachers and more opportunities for students to participate in discussions.
For a parent trying to weigh all of this, what would you say are the biggest benefits of a Founders education?
One of the most significant benefits is that strong foundation in core subjects. They really emphasize reading, writing, and math.
And it sounds like they're not just focused on academics, but also on instilling a strong moral compass. You mentioned character development earlier. How does Founders weave that into their teaching?
They have a strong emphasis on virtue development, which is a core principle of classical education. They believe that intellectual and moral development go hand in hand, which is a refreshing perspective in today's educational landscape.
It is interesting that they seem to be intentional about preparing students for responsible citizenship.
Think about your child's individual needs, your family's values, and what you envision for their future.
I think that's valuable advice for any parent considering a school, regardless of whether it's Founders or another option.
Exactly.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from great books to Socratic seminars to the importance of character development. It seems like Founders offers a truly distinctive approach to education.
I encourage you to continue your exploration. Gather information, visit the school, and trust your instincts. Ultimately, the best decision is the one that feels right for your child and your family.
Good luck on your educational journey.